What's going on, guys? So, a little incident happened and I lost the audio for this episode. Kind of a bummer. But, I'm gonna try and salvage some of the footage as much as I can, without crying. And, yeah, so we did some cool stuff today, so, I'll have to, just kind of record over it. So, I hope you guys like the episode anyways. Alright guys, so first of all in this episode, I ripped out the middle. Now the reason for this is, I'm going to give a shout out here to tpone2424. He pointed out that I forgot to put the redstone lamps in these areas, and I was like, oh yeah, good point, and I was going to just modify it to have the redstone lamps when I realized, I've had the system off before, so if I've had it off and no mobs have been piling up, then obviously it doesn't do much good anyways. It's not spawning much, so why waste the redstone? So I went and I collected the redstone, and I think what I'm going to do with these rooms instead is probably use them as sort of a way to get up to the top of the tower. I've been looking for a way to do that, so like I'll put either ladders or a piston elevator or something like that. And so while I was doing this, I realized that the second level of the mob farm was lit up while the first layer was off, as I show right there. So that means when I had the lights off, the second floor was still on, which was bad. And right here, I fell into the mob spawner, which was rather scary. And I just used a silk touch pick to break out. And you'll see a little glitch here. It's pretty cool, actually. I somehow was levitating when I went to drop out. I'm not sure what that is about, but I was able to replace the glass and just in time to escape a creeper that was coming along the waterways and would have blown everything up. So, yeah, anyways, I fixed the second floor of the mob farm so that now the lights are off. At the same time, basically there was a redstone torch powering the entire second level somewhere, so whether the lights were on or off, the second layer was always on. So now the rates are actually a lot faster, so I'm very happy with that. But right here you just see me in the nether, and I'm pillaring out into the lava lake close by. You can see that little crater in the top left corner, top right corner, where I've been stealing lava for my base. But yeah, right now I'm pillaring up, and if you haven't guessed already, I'm going to break into the top of the nether. Maybe I said that already, I can't remember, but the plan is basically to go to the top of the nether, where the bedrock is, and when I do that, I'll be able to build a really nice farm for zombie pigmen and other stuff. Oh, and by the way, you can see my iron pick deteriorating. I'm not sure where my fantastic iron pick is. I think I left it somewhere or it went back to normal, but so that's too bad. But anyways, yeah, you just see me pillaring up here, and I've got ender pearls on hand, and basically all I'm going to do is break through the bedrock. Now, by doing this, I'll be able to go all the way to the height limit, which is 200 and something, whereas this bedrock right here is only at level 128, or I think it is, the old height limit. So by doing that, we can build very high up, and since we have a 128 block sphere or whatever it is around the player where things spawn, hopefully that won't get in the way. And what I mean by that is, like, once we're up there, nothing will be spawning down below once we're up high enough, so we can make an incredibly efficient zombie pigman spawner, and I plan on doing that by using sort of those pressure plate piston setup. But JL, I think it was JL, maybe it was Panda, someone came up with a cool design using tripwire. Doc M showed it off in one of his latest world tour videos, so I think I might use that design. But anyways, I built a piston up above the bedrock to see where it led, and it spawned a random portal way high up in the air, which I kind of expected because I was pretty high up. And you'll see where we are in a minute as the world starts to load. It's kind of interesting looking right now with just blue all around. Kind of eerie. But yeah, as the water starts to load, you can see that that's the border of where the water is, and over there is the platform where our base is. And as it starts to load in here, you can actually see the tower. But so anyhow, I'm about to go back through this portal here in a second. Yep, and it actually connects to this portal in the Nether, and not the one I made above the bedrock, because I don't think the portals above the bedrock work. They're only one way. They only go outside, they don't go inside, so to speak. So when I enter back through this portal, instead of taking me to that place above the world, it takes me to the Iron Golem farm. So that's kind of a fast way to travel. That's kind of cool, but yeah. So anyways, that was just a cool chunk error where I was able to see all the mobs in my Mog farm and how they were interacting, so I wanted to show you guys that. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I got a lot done at the Iron Golem farm. I'll show that off in an episode or two when I've gotten more done. So I think it looks really good though. So yeah, that's a pretty cool glitch, but anyways, so I started building an Enderman farm because I realized since there's no way to get back above that bedrock by portal, I'm gonna have to use ender pearls every single time, and I don't get many endermen around, so I basically built this setup where there's a pressure plate and a 3 high gap and a piston that will push the enderman off immediately. And I realized a little too late that the redstone was inefficient. You can alternate between repeaters and redstone wires, so I went back and I fixed that afterwards. But yeah, basically the process is I start with a two wide platform leading into a block, and that's what I'm doing right now. And you can see where we are. We're I think north. This is north of the tower, with the Iron Golem farm being east, I think. North, south, east. Yeah, the Iron Golem farm is east of the tower. This is north. Now, of course, you can alternate those repeaters with redstone wire, which I went back and fixed, and you'll see that in a bit. But yeah, then I just place the sticky pistons. The block will be powering the piston, which will power the... That was just me explaining something, probably. Which will power the block forward and push the mob off. So yeah, that's basically how the design works, using stone pressure plates so items don't power the blocks. And I think it's an okay design. The problem is there's so little spawning space versus resources. Now, let's keep in mind that 16 blocks, right? Oh, I fell. We have 16 blocks of spawning space. And let me think for a second. Okay, yeah, 16 blocks of spawning space because I made them 16 across. And for that, we have to use a whole stack of smooth stone for each of the 16. Actually, more than that, because of the... I'm forgetting about the pressure plates. So we use a stack and a half of smooth stone for each row of 16, and then we use redstone on top of that. So it's really expensive for only 16. So basically how I designed this was I went into a creative world, and so you're seeing a weird fade effect right now. But anyways, so yeah, I fixed the redstone, and this is me just explaining. But anyways, there are 5 layers of each on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I add the 5th one later. But that's because it's built 43 blocks in the air, so that Enderman will be 1-hit kill and all other mobs will die instantly. Sorry, 41 blocks. Or 42 blocks. Yes, and that way Enderman will be a 1-hit kill and other mobs will die instantly. So that's why it's that way. But since there's that sphere around the player where mobs only spawn within a certain distance, I had to make sure that I didn't go too high up, or else the farm wouldn't even be working. So it's only 5 tall. So yeah, and I think that one of the reasons it doesn't work too well is, 1, because there's not much spawn space, and 2, because It's so far up in the air, so maybe I'll have to fix that. But yeah, have sort of some sort of platform close by. But yeah, this is basically how I went about fixing all of that. And then finally, when it was all done, I came at night, and yeah, I'd just been filling in a bit of dirt while I was waiting for it to turn night. And I came over here. As you can see, I finished the 5 platforms on each side. I might extend the platforms either vertically or horizontally. But anyways, yeah, it didn't seem to be working too well. And of course, I had a zombie spawn up there, but that was just because it wasn't lit up. But yeah, I was feeling a little uneasy about it because, as you can see here, nothing was really happening. And I wasn't sure if the rates from the other farm were doing any, had anything to do with that. And there I was just checking whether or not I was on peaceful, which we know I wasn't. The other thing was that there were a lot of mobs spawning down there, so I needed to go and extend the water down there much farther to prevent mobs from being down there. So I did go and do that, and by the end of the video, when I had extended the water, it seemed like it was actually working pretty well. Not super well, but it was working well enough, and some mobs were dropping. You can see it happening here. So yeah, every once in a while a mob will fall. You're seeing this in real time here, so it's not sped up or anything. But we haven't had any Endermen yet. Hopefully that will change. I know they're pretty rare compared to the other mobs. So I think we just have to extend the platforms, maybe make a few more of those designs. But there's also some other designs I have in mind that use water to trap the Endermen, and that might be a lot more resource friendly and maybe more efficient. So I'll have to do a lot of testing on a creative world to sort of see. But anyways, sorry for the short episode, guys. I'm sorry this was such a pain. I salvaged what footage I could. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for your patience. Sorry about this. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. So thank you for watching.